I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and it feels good to be back after a 3-week unplanned hiatus. I hope I got all the little issues that I needed to get worked out. Had some internet issues, had some personal things I needed to take care of. The podcast that did not happen, Garth Mahoney and K-Swift, I have them rescheduled. Garth's already back on the list. I'll get K-Swift back on the list over the next week or so. You will not miss those podcasts. We got a real cool podcast for you tonight here. But you know what I got to do, and you know what you got to do. Before I got to do what you got to do, and I got to do what I got to do, you got to go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Hit that little red bell so you know when content's coming out. Then like this video and share this video out to your friends. All right, you know what time it is. I got to promote these upcoming podcasts, and then we're going to get this thing underway.
To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top, spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an itch, man, I'm making. I'll keep my head down and try to be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and assailant. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goal. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You just gotta wanna keep chasing. Put you everything you're facing. Keep up with the pace and adrenaline rush starts racing. Get through all the things you hate in. Don't let the others in charge of your dreams. They just don't know what it takes to be seen. You see the shit take control of your team. And if you're alone, then a one-man army. So you better be starving. And you better be carving through the hate, keep marching. And every day keep charging ahead till you get what you want, what you dream. Regret is a thing of the past, and you'll see that you always had it inside. It's the key to make the most of this life for me.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
All right, y'all, you seen it right there. A lot of cool podcasts coming up. Still got a few I got to add throughout August. I'll be getting them up here in the next few weeks. Hopefully we're back. No more issues. Get back on track tonight. It's all about my guest tonight, man. Let me just say this. Not only is this man, he's multifaceted type of guy. Not only is he one of the most dominant professional wrestlers around our area, he is one hell of an artist. This dude has talent in his fingers. Let me just say this. He is your current 901 tag team champion along with Roscoe Monroe, and together they are the Gentleman's Club. I bring to you none other than the Soviet Saint, Norman Meklakov. Norman.
Hello, Buster.
What's going on, man?
Oh, not too much.
I'm glad to have you here, dude. It's been a while. We've had this thing booked a pretty good while.
Yes, Buster. Let's skip with all the pleasantries and everything. Why stand on formalities? You don't know me. There's no reason for you to really like me. I don't know you. I damn sure don't like you.
Oh!
So let's get right to it. We've got a job to do.
Right.
So, we've got questions.
Right.
It's not going like you think it's going to go. Before we get to the interrogatives, I have to make a declarative statement here. This is now the Norman Meklakov show. I'm hijacking your show, Buster. There's nothing you can do about it. So I have questions, and you hopefully have answers. So first question, Buster, I'm a little confused about what we're doing here. Not so good with technology. Is this a social media platform? Is this a YouTube channel? Is this podcast? What are we doing here?
Man, we are on YouTube. We will be on Facebook as soon as this broadcast ends. The link for Facebook will go out. We'll be on Twitter. We'll be on TikTok. We're everywhere, man. It's all about you tonight. And I see right now what kind of interview it's going to be, man. I'm a little worried about how this thing might go between me and you. You've already declared us somewhat enemies, but like you said, this is pro wrestling. We have a job to do, and the thing about pro wrestling, sometimes you got to work with people you do not like. You made it clear that you do not like me, and that's fine. We're here to do a job, so you let me know when you get ready for me to start asking you questions, Meklakov.
Okay. You talk a lot, man. Okay, so first question for you, Buster. I was watching, when it was your show, before it was my show, the Norman Meklakov show, you had my partner, Roscoe Monroe, on there. Found out very interesting information on you. Is it true, Sexy Sam Dollar is your brother?
That's right, man. Me and Sam are legit 100% brothers.
That is insane, because I will admit to you, I disclose information here. I am a huge Sexy Sam Dollar fan. He is so awesome. He's so cool. I don't know what happened with you. I was there, and you're just leftovers. You see the movie Twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
Right.
You're Danny DeVito.
Oh, I'm Danny DeVito. Okay, that's cool with me. You should be a fan of Sexy Sam. I'm a large fan of Sexy Sam in stature and in emotion, man. Like I said, we're real brothers. Sexy Sam's absolutely one of the greatest professional wrestling managers to ever grace this business. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like he would love you, man. I feel like he would love Norman Meklakov.
I know for a fact that he at least respects me. You want to know? I tell you a story. Before I ever got into wrestling, and I was just attending a show, I won't tell you in what town, but he looks behind him. There I am in the stands, and he looks at me, and all night he keeps asking me if I wanted to get into business. He was ignoring the people he was managing in the ring to talk to me. So he obviously has good taste.
Well, you're an imposing figure, man. When people see you, you got a presence, man. When you see Meklakov, you can't help your eyes go right to you, man. And so I see where Sexy Sam Dollar's coming from. And look, you mentioned Roscoe. When we started, Roscoe's already on here with us, man. He says, howdy, y'all. Buster Gox, or whatever, however he says it, Norman. That's your partner, man. And look, since we're on Roscoe, I had Roscoe on, like you said. And one of the things, Peter Van's here with us. He says, hey, everybody, what's up, Peter? But listen, one of the things Roscoe told me was that when he was first trying to get trained for this business, he approached you. And you were really highly reluctant to train Roscoe Monroe. So talk about that with me a little bit and how we ended up where we are today with you two guys, now 901 Wrestling Tag Team Champions and the Gentleman's Club. What was it about Roscoe at first that you didn't like, Meklakov?
Well, the same thing I don't like about anybody else. They are not me. So I get this random message from somebody I've never heard of wanting to train with me. And of course I try to blow him off. And he's very persistent. He is a stubborn man. Well, I blow him off, and I think he called me rude or whatever it was he said. And about a couple years later, he had actually broken into the business of wrestling, and we worked a show together. And you know what the first thing he does to me when he sees me in person? He punches me in the face.
Hold on. Now look, I hate to pause your story, but so far, just the interaction me and you've had so far during this podcast, I fully see why Roscoe punched you in the face, man. I'm going to be honest. You are rude. You come on here, you take over my show. That's cool. I know there's a lot of tension going on between Russia and America, the Ukraine and all these places. And I don't know where you stand, and it don't really matter to me because we're here to talk about pro wrestling and you, but I can fully see why Roscoe hit you in your face, man.
Well, later we have a match, and I punch him in his face, and I beat him. Later down the road, we meet in another state, wrestling in a different city. He meets me again. Do you know what he does? He punches me in the face.
Gotta respect that.
He is persistent, he is stubborn, and he has one hell of a punch. So we fast forward to years later. I'm now about 10 years in wrestling, and lo and behold, Roscoe Monroe shows up at 901 Wrestling in Memphis, Tennessee. And he's beating this poor, pathetic little loser. Don't remember his name, but I feel bad for him. I'm having moments of weakness, we'll call it, okay? So I go to help this kid out. And then Roscoe punches me in the face. He chokes me with my tie. He beat the living hell out of me. And then he goes on and tells everybody he's going to expose me for the person that I am. He's going to let them know that I'm not a nice guy. I never said I was. I don't know why they ever thought that. But flash forward, we have match. We have other match. We beat each other up. And you know what? I don't like Roscoe today. I hate him. No, I hate you. I respect Roscoe. There we go. I respect Roscoe. I know what he'll do next time I see him. He's probably going to punch me in the face the first chance he gets. And that's how it happened. Genuine respect for one another.
And here's the thing. Sometimes you gotta duke it out to earn that respect from each other. My best friend in life, in history, me and him we tried to beat the crap out of each other 4 or 5 times until we hung out one night and realized we were the same person. Best friends for life after that. You say you don't like Roscoe, you said you hate me, that you just don't like Roscoe, but you respect him. But I feel like there's a little twinkle of salt side right there in Meklakov for Roscoe Monroe, man.
Hey, you shut your mouth, okay?
I mean, it's true, dude.
Meklakov, okay? There's plenty soft with you, you know, but nothing is soft about Norman Meklakov. I am the bruiser of Belgorod. I am the Russian wrecking ball. You Russian wrecking ball, not soft. Shut your mouth.
So look, man, let's get back on track. Now can I start asking you some questions? Because here's the thing. Everybody watching here, they want to learn a little bit about you, man. Past wrestling. I told them you were an artist, but I like to go all the way back past that. Talk to us a little bit about where you grew up and how you were raised, man.
Where I grew up, I was born a man, okay? I came out into a world that didn't want me. I came into a world that had no place for me, and I made my home wherever I was. I became a large man because I had to. I have to cover the ground I walk on. Where did I grow up? Everywhere. I grew up everywhere. This world isn't big enough for the man that I will become. I'm going to just keep getting bigger and bigger. There is no end in sight for this. I made a declaration months ago that Roscoe and I were going to change the world. We were going to change the landscape of 901 wrestling, and that's what we are doing. That's not the end goal for me. That's a stepping stone. Past that, you'll just have to wait and see.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Here's the thing. Talk to me about what you believe the differences are between growing up a Russian or growing up an American.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know that there is much of a difference. We are, in the end of the day, we're all people. We have ambitions or we do not. We have drive or we do not. We are dedicated to our cause or we are not. I can easily say that there are Russians, Ukrainians, Lithuanians, Romanians, Polish, that have no drive. Those are the countries that I have lived in, Buster. I can just as easily say that there are people in those same countries who are driven and obtain greatness through their works, men and women alike.
I can agree with that, man. I think that's probably true anywhere in the world. You've always got slackers and you always got people that work hard and are driven to become more than they start out as. And so look, I know for a fact, I've seen some of your work. You're one hell of an athlete. So talk to me about this. Did you play any other sports growing up in school, in college, anything?
I did play some sports. When I first came over, my adopted family tried to transition me and introduce me to American culture. So the first sport outside of professional wrestling they introduced me to was baseball. So I tried my hand in baseball at a very early age, before teenage years. And I didn't tell you the truth, I don't like baseball, never excelled at it. I did play basketball and football in high school and did not play sports in college. I was more driven towards the educational side of the college courses. I went to art school, graduated there, dropped out of college twice because I'm twice the driven individual when it comes to that. I look forward to dropping out again.
Hold on now, you talk about being driven, but drop out twice, man, that means you quit twice.
Oh, yes. But I tried twice. And
but you quit. There's a difference in trying and failing and quitting because you didn't succeed. Did you try and fail, or did you just quit because you wasn't the best at whatever you were doing right then?
No, I didn't want to do what I was doing.
I can
So,
understand that.
yeah, I got into college, and I always tell people college is not for everyone. Um, but I got in it. I almost got that associates, and I decided that's not where I want to go with life. So I got out of that, graduated art school, and I tried my hand at college again. And I can't say that I won't try it again because, like I said, I keep growing. I have different aspirations as I get older. I don't.
Right.
I'm not going to hold fast to today for convictions for tomorrow.
So look, man, before we really get into pro wrestling, I want to talk about your art, man. I'm assuming you were an artist before you ever dreamed of becoming a professional wrestler. Is that right or wrong?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I spent a lot of time by myself because I've always been an unpleasant person. So did not have a lot of friends growing up. So a lot of time drawing and painting. So I got good at it.
So let me ask you this, because my friend I was talking about, but like I said, we tried to beat the crap out of each other several times before we became friends.
Now, hold on, sir. You keep saying you had a friend. I find it hard to believe that you have any friends.
Well, you said you don't have any friends. At least I had one, Meklakov. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You really are kind of unpleasant, dude.
You have more friends than me. You beat me at that one. I'll call it like it is.
Okay, but here's what I was getting at. Here was my point. He was a natural artist. Never been trained, never went to college, never was taught how to draw, paint, or anything. He could just do it from day one. I guess it was just a natural talent. Were you like that, or did you kind of have to work, have to practice and hone your craft at art, or have you just always been able to draw or paint as long as you can remember?
I would say that at the age that I started, I excelled for my age, and then I took lessons from people because a foolish person would say that they are the best and cannot draw. I look at people and I see in them the potential of what they can give to me. Roscoe is an older gentleman, and to look at him, if I reach that age and I look like that, then I've done something well. And it's like that in art. I look at someone's artwork and I say, I want that. How do you do that? Of course, I'm going to take lessons from that individual. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to observe them because there's more to learn in every aspect of life. It's a foolish person who believes they are the best and there's nothing better. I'm not perfect. I'm just really good.
And I will agree with you on one point there, man. Roscoe, for his age, I said it on the podcast to him, that man's built like a brick shithouse, man, to be, 67 years old? Is that his age?
I'll be honest with you, Buster. I don't think Roscoe and I understand each other half the time we're talking to one another. I know he's in his 60s, but I don't know.
He told me the same thing. He said y'all could barely understand each other half the time, and he told me, he said, if you ever talk to him, you're going to have a hard time understanding. But I'll be honest with you. I'm understanding you loud and clear, man. So now, let's get on pro wrestling a little bit. We've had our little pleasantries, man. You hate me, I know that. We're here to do a job. Let's talk about wrestling. What age were you when you first kind of discovered wrestling?
Oh, I could not tell you. It was about the same time that I took up a little league. Then I came over, and my adopted family, my aunts and uncles, they would take me to different things. One of the things they took me to was a wrestling show. And I had no clue what I was looking at. There were lots of people. I was surrounded by so many people. It was so loud. I genuinely don't like loud noises. But we're all looking at this square in the middle of this giant building. And all these guys are fighting down there. And I have no idea what they're doing. And I was on an aisle seat. We were living in the Carolinas at the time, so it was probably Charlotte or Fayetteville. I don't recall. And this big, jacked up muscle guy with big teased hair comes running down. And he gets in the ring and he's shaking the ropes and he's just this behemoth. It was unreal to look at him. And I thought at a young age, I said, that's He-Man. He was the ultimate warrior. So late 80s, early 90s, whatever it was. That's when I first discovered wrestling and I got interested. It's because I thought that guy was He-Man.
I can agree with you on that, man. I think all pro wrestlers, 99% of us all kind of discover wrestling the same way and fall in love with it the same way. So now tell me what age you were when you decided that pro wrestling was something you wanted to give a shot to, man.
Oh, that's a whole different story. I never thought about actually doing it. I was attending a show and I did once have a best friend. And
What?
once I had a best friend.
Did you just smile, Meklakov? Come on, man. You can't smile, dude. We can't have you smiling, man.
It was a pleasant memory that was evoked. Don't think too much of it. But we're watching the show, and let's be honest with one another, because if anything, I'm nothing but honest, okay? It's an indie wrestling show in this area, so it was garbage, it was crap. The wrestlers looked like crackheads or fat old people.
Hey, some of them probably were crackheads, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know for a fact they were. So it was funny at first, but like anything, that joke gets old. And I just looked at my friend and I said, I could do better than this. And he looks back at me and he says, yeah, you could, and you should. And as we're leaving this establishment, I don't want to talk down about any promotions while I'm on here, and I won't badmouth any wrestlers by name. They know who they are, and if the shoe fits, put that some bitch on and shove it right up your own ass. You know who you are. So
Man.
we're leaving this place. And, can I cuss on this?
Dude, you can say whatever you want, man.
Oh, good. So we're leaving, and the promoter is greeting and saying goodbye to all the people who attended his show, because he should be thankful for every single person who paid any kind of money to watch that circus. As we're leaving, my friend pushes me out in front of him and he says, he wants to be a pro wrestler. And later that night, I'm signing paperwork in what they call those forums where you sign it and they're not liable for it.
Basically a release form.
There you go, release form. There you go.
If you get your neck broke, we ain't liable for it, man.
So, very good. Trained for a year, and I got in, and it's the age of social media. So, if you want to know when I started, go back and just find it. It's about 10, 11 years ago. You can find it. I'm not telling you, because I'll make you do the work. I won't call out the promotions, but you can do some homework. You can figure it out.
Well, look, I like getting into the emotion of guys have, like your first match. You trained for a year. Talk to me about your very first match, man. The emotions you had. Were you nervous? How did the match go? You've already said you won't name anybody, so you probably won't name your opponent. But talk to me about that first match, man, from the inside, what you were feeling.
I will not name his name because it makes it easier for people to find this promotion. I will, however, say that for a first opponent, I had a good opponent. Out of the people who worked for that promotion, he was amongst the best. And he beat me. Was I nervous? No. There was talk in training that there is a performance aspect of it in relating to the crowd. Okay, I've never related to the crowd, but I finally understand what that means for me. If I go out there and I am me to the max, the people will hate me. I get that now. That's the response they were talking about. That's the performance aspect. I have a genuine contentment with just being ignored when I go out in public. I would like to be left alone, but you can't do that when you go to the ring. You want to acknowledge these people, and if you can make them hate you, if that's what you can do, then that is what I can do, because I genuinely do not like them, and they genuinely do not like me. Some because I'm a foreigner, and they just want me to go back to my country. Some of them don't like me because they will never be like me. And others don't like me because, well, they're afraid of me. That is the performance aspect of it. That is what I understand. I want them to come to terms with that so it generates that response. I want them to be more vocal. I want them to tell me they hate me. I want them to throw things at me. That is the fuel that I need to beat my opponent in the ring. I'm not looking for cheers because I don't care if you like me. I don't like you. So I didn't understand that in my first match. And I think he gave me my first lesson in that.
So I'll tell you this, man. You are great at your job because I can't stand your ass already. I'll be honest with you. We've been on here 31 minutes, and the more you talk, the less I like you, dude. But I respect you. I do respect you because you speak your mind, and I believe the same way. If you got something to say it, and I don't give a fuck whose feelings it hurts, because this ain't the feelings business. This is pro wrestling. I feel like that's one thing that's wrong with the sport today. Everybody's too into their feelings. When I broke in the business, they didn't give a shit about your feelings. If you fucked up, they let your ass know it immediately and set you straight. So look, here's the thing. You look like you're in a dungeon, man. I'm going to be honest with you. You look like you're in a dungeon, so that brings to mind Ivan Koloff, Nikita Koloff, Nikolai Volkov, Boris Sukov. There's so many legendary Russian wrestlers. Are any of these guys inspirations to you?
Yep. Let me take a sidetrack here. I no longer hate you, Buster. I no longer hate you. I clearly just plainly don't like you now. You don't care about the feelings of the boys in the back. And that's the problem. These boys, they don't understand greatness. They don't understand those names, those older generations, all those names that you gave. Nikita Koloff, Ivan Koloff, Nikolai Volkov. Those were great men. They were men. They understood the sport of professional wrestling. They weren't making friends. That's why I just don't like you now. I don't hate you anymore. I don't like you.
I'm moving up the list. I'm starting to get to you hard. I'm tugging at your heartstrings a little bit. Before it's over, me and you and Roscoe, we might be a six-man tag, man. You can't never tell. I can see right now you're growing on me. Every second I'm growing on you. Man, we might be best friends. We might be stepbrothers. Who knows, Meklakov?
I'm going to punch you in the face next time I see you.
And I'm going to be watching for that. Trust me, I'm going to have my eye on you if we're ever in the vicinity of each other. So look, we named these these top Russian wrestlers. I am a huge fan of Ivan Koloff. I growed up watching Ivan Koloff. Your partner, Roscoe Monroe, he is a huge fan of Ivan Koloff. I feel like Ivan Koloff is the original Russian wrestler. What do you think about that, man? Do you think you can reach the heights that Ivan Koloff reached?
I could. That would be an admirable goal if I was the type of individual who modeled myself after another individual. There's nothing wrong with looking up to someone like Ivan Koloff. He did great things in the sport of wrestling. I'm not Ivan Koloff. I will never be Ivan Koloff. I'm Norman Meklakov. I have to forge my own way. I'd like to think in certain aspects, I'm better than Ivan Koloff. But you know, beyond it, I know Roscoe has mentioned Ivan to me. I was always a Nikolai Volkov fan. when I was younger and I discovered wrestling, my uncle had tapes, the Coliseum home videos in the tape traders for the territories and all that. He was a huge wrestling fan. And he showed me this tape, and Nikolai Volkov came out. And he takes off his Rushenka, and he begins singing the Soviet national anthem. And I thought to myself, I know this song. I know this song. And I was so happy in that moment. Until Hulk Hogan comes out, interrupting Nikolai's beautiful singing. And to this day, Hulk Hogan is the worst wrestler in the world. What a disingenuous bastard he turned out to be, right? Your American hero. I knew it from an early age. He was nothing but a liar, nothing but a fake, and he was a racist. He hated Russians because they weren't from there. You have to. If you want to be any kind of man, you have to look at a man for what he is worth, not for where he is, and where he is from. It's the man. So, screw Hulk Hogan.
Oh, screw Hulk Hogan. I think most people feel that way nowadays. You can't deny the fact that he's one of the guys that took wrestling to the heights we see it at today. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way you do about Hulk Hogan. But I got to put you on the spot, Meklakov. Talking about Nikolai. You said it. I was heading there. You was reading my mind. That Soviet national anthem. Let's hear it. Let's go. This is now, what is it? America's Got Talent or whatever, American Idol. Let's hear that Soviet national anthem, man. You can't be a respectable Russian athlete and not be able to sing that Soviet national anthem to us.
I am the Soviet saint, and I am proud to have been born in the mightiest empire the world has ever seen. There is a reason that empire has fallen, and I will not sing its praises, especially now when Russia has a leader who is trying to relive those days. Those days are gone. They are gone for a reason. I will not glorify those past days with recent events that cost so many people their lives. So I will not be singing Soviet national anthem, nor will I be singing Russian national anthem. Not now.
So let's talk about that for a second before we move to 901, because we're headed to 901 wrestling. But look, it's topical right now. You just said it yourself. You don't really like Putin. So talk to me about what you think the Soviet Union should be doing and how they should be handling themselves compared to how they are.
The Soviet Union is over. It's been over for years, for decades. It's Russia. It's Putin. And it's not really Russia. It is Vladimir Putin. He is problem. He has outlived his usefulness. He was once a great man. But you know who else was also a great man? Hitler. But he did terrible things. And his end was a thing the world could rejoice in. Like I said, Putin has outlived his usefulness. It will not be a sad day when he is gone.
That's heavy. That's heavy right there, dude. I'll be honest with you. I did not expect you to feel that way about the situation, man. I really didn't. That's heavy, and I respect what you're saying, man. So look, let's get off politics. Let's get off of all that bullshit. Let's move to 901 wrestling. I seen a promo you and Roscoe cut here recently, and you said it earlier. You were in the ring, and you called the boys in the back, called them boys. Little boys. You called the fans marks. So talk to me about how you feel about some of your contemporaries, some of your peers at 901 Wrestling. It's obvious you don't really like anybody, your own tag team partner. You respect him, but don't like him. But what do you think is, because I'm with you on the fact that I feel like when I broke in the wrestling business, when you walked in the dressing room, it was full of grizzled, grown men. Now when you walk in the dressing room, it's full of kids. That's how I feel about it. So talk to me about 901 and the guys in the dressing room. You called them out on the 901 show, so you shouldn't be shy about doing it right here.
Oh, I'm not shy about that. See, that's the thing. Now I'm in the... One moment. I didn't get this. Roscoe and I did not obtain these titles by shying away. I am not shy in locker room. I'm not shy to get dressed. I am not shy to talk. You want my opinion? It's the same opinion I've been saying for years. I'm not there to make friends. I don't care about your feelings. I don't want to go out there and have a 5-star match. I'm going to go out there and compete as a professional wrestler in the sport of professional wrestling. I'm not a little boy. I am a full-grown man, as is Roscoe Monroe. We do not like you. We do not respect you. And that is why we are changing the face of the 901 promotion. And do you know why Tommy Jacks allows this to happen? Do you want to know why? This is how I feel about it. Tommy Jacks, unlike other indie promoters, is not a wrestler. He understands the business aspect of professional wrestling. He knows that by Roscoe Monroe and Norman Meklakov, the Gentlemen's Club, behaving the way that we do, we are going to make those little boys grow up and grow up fast. That's good for business. Because no one wants to see a couple of little boys, douchebags, playing grab ass with their friends. Man up, boys.
I'm 100% behind that, man. I agree with that 100%. And speaking of Tommy Jacks, man, I had him on the podcast. It's probably been 5 or 6 months ago now. And I will say this, Tommy Jacks is determined. He has a vision. He sees something in his head and he executes. And I do feel like 901 Wrestling has grown leaps and bounds since y'all left Black Lodge and went into the Minglewood Hall. So you talk to me about the titles first. Let's talk about you two guys forming the Gentlemen's Club. How did this thing come about? Was this you guys' idea or was this a Tommy Jacks brainchild?
No. No one tells Norman Meklakov what to do, okay? Any creation is my idea. Roscoe Monroe was very reluctant to team with me, but I reminded him that it was he who sought me out, wanting to train with me. And I appealed to his sensibilities, to his logical nature. The fact of the matter is that Roscoe Monroe is one hell of a man. At 60 whatever years old, he's still more of a man than those little boys. He is annoyed, and he is sickened, like I, that those little boys have ruined a sport that he grew up loving. And that's what they are doing. They are ruining this sport because they do not understand that not everyone belongs. You have to be a man because it's a man's sport. And the Gentlemen's Club, now we make the rules. The rule number 1, no boys allowed.
So let's talk about the night you guys actually won those titles. Take me through that night, the build up to the match itself, and then standing in the ring when it was all said and done. You and Roscoe Monroe together, belts held high, man. Talk to me about that night.
Okay, the belts were not held high because the top shovers, one of the little idiots, left the belts at home. So our match got sanctioned with no belts present. And in all honesty, Roscoe, being stubborn as he is, Roscoe's always gung ho. I admire that about him, but it sometimes is nerve-wracking. I was not dressed to compete in that match. It was hard to compete against the likes of someone like Don Montana. You say what you want about him, he's one hell of an athlete.
Right.
He is big, he is powerful, he is fast. It's a good thing for us. The Gentlemen's Club came out on top. But I would be a fool if I was not to admit that the reason we did was because Hiram J. Davis and Don Montana were not on the same page that night. Now, neither were Roscoe and myself. But they, Hiram J had a hidden agenda. Roscoe and I are driving to the same goal. And no matter what our views are, that goal remains in sight. This was part of the goal. This is what we achieved. Am I proud of it? Yes, of course I am. But again, it's just a stepping stone. This is not the top. I don't want to be on top of the mountain. I want to be the mountain. And then once I become the mountain, I want to be the earth that it covers.
So you mentioned the top shotters, and those two guys held those titles for a decent amount of time. Good champions, but it seems like they already had dissension before y'all's match. But since y'all's match, I feel like, I mean, as everybody knows, they've imploded. These guys are at each other's throats now. So that knocks out a tag team. That knocks out one hell of a formidable tag team challenge for you guys in those titles. So talk to me about who is the top challengers in 901 for those tag team titles.
Well, you didn't listen closely to that interview. It doesn't matter who the top contenders for those titles are now. They are still little boys in the back, and they do not deserve a title. You know, when I first came to 901, I was a sponsor for the program. I was semi-retired at the time. Tommy Jacks allowed me to come in there. I read over all of the rules, all of the regulations for champions and competitors. Roscoe and I, the Gentlemen's Club, we have to defend these titles, but we do not have to defend them at 901 Wrestling. So, Ross, let me, Buster, use your platform to issue this challenge to all of you mark promoters. I challenge you to know what's best for your business. Do you want the Gentlemen's Club to come and defend these titles at your show against your boys? If you want a couple of real men at your show, contact me. We'll show up and we'll shut you up, because we're not afraid of competition, but we're not going to pander to these little boys at 901, because it's what they deserve. It's what the fans at 901 deserve. They don't deserve these titles, so there's no way in hell that they're getting them.
I dig it, man. An open challenge. I like that. I like that attitude, man. Defend these titles against anybody. Make the call and you can get the Gentlemen's Club. That's real man shit right there. You keep talking about it's just a stepping stone, Meklakov. You want to be the mountain.
Let me backtrack there, because I would hate to waste my time. If you understand the business aspect of professional wrestling, it's to make money. So you promoters, don't contact me if you're not willing to pay for me. Roscoe costs money too. These belts cost money. We cost money. You better be ready to pay up.
All right, I'm dying to ask you this, because, like I said, Roscoe said y'all have a hard time communicating. Do you two guys travel together?
Hell no.
Okay. All right, that kills the whole question, because I'm dying to know what the conversation's like on a 4 or 5 hour ride between you and Roscoe Monroe.
No, this is not happening. Okay? I respect Roscoe, but he's weird, okay? He's got voodoo dolls, And he's going on about the power of the bayou. The man has an alligator in behind his house. And it's non-stop with him. Okay, I am a reasonable man, and I have a spiritual side, but I don't want to discuss it with him. And he threatened Tommy Jacks to be poking holes in a voodoo doll. I'm not saying that's not true. I just don't want to hear about it.
I seen Roscoe here a few weeks ago, right after y'all won those belts. Matter of fact, I seen him doing some of his magic on those belts to get the bad juju off of them, man. Did that work, man? Did he get all that bad juju off those belts?
I don't believe there was ever any bad juju on the belts, but it was something I endured because Roscoe Monroe is my tag team partner. So I humored him and I respected his wishes. We missed 3 hours of training because he wanted to play witch doctor or whatever. But it's okay. He's content and his spiritual soul is at rest with whatever it was he did, okay? That's all I know.
So let me ask you this, man. Do you ever get any mysterious little aches and pains, body aches, joint aches, or anything?
I'm in my 40s, of course I do.
Are you sure? We've already mentioned the little Tommy Jacks voodoo doll. Are you sure Roscoe Monroe ain't got a little voodoo doll of you that he kind of twists every now and again when you get too much of an attitude?
I'm not going to put it past him that he would do something like that. What I'm saying is that it would not affect me because I am a grown man and I'm not affected by a little doll.
You're not scared, are you?
What would I be scared of?
I'll tell you this. Off air, Roscoe Monroe told me you were deathly afraid of alligators.
Okay,
is that true?
I do not like alligators, okay? I also do not like snakes. He has snakes running around his ranch, but I respect them. I'm not running away from them, nor am I running towards them. I'm not some freaking suburban white woman thinking all animals need to be petted. I let the alligator be itself over in the creek. I let the snakes be a snake over in the grass. And I stay my happy self right where I'm at, away from them. He's fine.
Yeah, but man, Roscoe Monroe, he'll jump right in that swamp on that alligator's back, man, and wrestle him down. I know damn well you ain't gonna let Roscoe Monroe show you up when it comes to alligator wrestling, Meklakov.
I don't know what the alligator did to him. So, he can wrestle alligators if he wants. He doesn't get me paid. I'm not doing it. It's no sport.
It might be a sport in Louisiana, man.
If they're willing to pay, maybe. But I'm not wrestling alligators for fun. I'd fight you for fun.
That wouldn't be fun for you, Meklakov. I'll be honest with you. You're the Soviet saint, but I'm going to tell you straight up, you don't want no part of the Hellraiser. I can promise you that. You talk about men, and you talk about what you do to these little boys. I've had more guys leave matches with me right in the middle of them, hit the dressing room, not even get their bags, go straight to their car, not be able to leave because they're blocked in and sat there for 3 hours waiting on the show to end. You don't want that smoke, Ross. You don't want that smoke, Meklakov. You don't want that, I promise you. We don't like each other. We've kind of established that. And I'm old. Like you said, you're a young man. I'm older than you. I'm an old man, but I can still go one night if I have to. I can promise you that.
Well, I tell you what, if you're making promises, if you ever were to feel froggy and you want to jump in the ring one time,
Ribbit.
I would do it for free. You get some dumb booker promoter to put that match on, I will wrestle you for free, Buster. Just for the sheer enjoyment of putting this size 14 boot right upside your big dumb head.
Now that right there cracks me up, dude. That cracks me up right there. You funny, Meklakov. I'll be honest with you. You act like you're this rude, hard dude, but we've seen you crack a few smiles. I think there's a comedian under there, my man. I think there's a stand-up comedian under there, under all that rough bravado you pump out, man.
Well, I'm a great many things. I'll make you laugh, but that's not going to make you laugh when I step in the ring with you. I'm going to make you cry. It's a tragedy and a comedy. I'll be laughing.
Tragedy and comedy, artistry. Let me ask you this. You're an artist. Do you believe professional wrestling is an art form?
The way I do it, yes.
Just the way you do it?
Yes. It is a performance. It is a sport. It is a business. And as a man in the business, in the sport of professional wrestling, you have got to understand those three aspects. And you have to know how to navigate into all three of them. So, is it an art? There is an art to any combative sport. Karate, taekwondo, sumo, judo, doesn't matter. There's an art form to all of it. There's nothing quite like it. Seeing a grown man punch or kick another man or pick them up and slam them to the ground. There is form to it all. You ever see an untrained fighter throw a punch?
Right.
It's not appeasing, is it? There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about it. So boxing is an art. Jiu-jitsu is an art. Professional wrestling is an art.
So let me ask you this. Are you trained in any other disciplines other than professional wrestling?
Sure, absolutely.
Tell us.
In my early 20s, I got kind of invited to train in sumo. So I got to train with some sumo guys when they were going off to compete in the tournament. I did not compete in that tournament because I was young, I was too small, and I did not belong to a dojo. I only got to train with them. And it was a very humbling experience, to tell you the truth. I got beat every time. It's nothing like being 185 pounds and being thrown around by 300 and 400 pound men.
Right.
None of the matches ever last long, but when they throw you to the ground, they throw you hard. And they did not like me because I was not planning on competing in the tournament, so I was a waste of time. I don't blame them. I earned their respect by the end of the training sessions that week, but I had to learn a lesson the hard way. I'd also trained in Krav Maga. This is the Israeli military fighting style, which is no rules. Imagine that.
So let me ask you this: did you serve in the military at any time?
I did not serve in any military. I did once work in security, and I did security detail, and was able to work with, not for. There is a difference with the American Secret Service. Just doing security detail, constructing apparatuses for them to hide behind, and protecting former First Lady, which was the lady who was married to George W. Bush. Was it Barbara?
Barbara Bush, yeah.
Yes, she was on book tour.
Are we talking about George Jr. or George Sr.?
Junior.
I have no idea. I cannot think of her name. I know the seniors was Barbara Bush. I cannot think of who George W.'s...
So if the senior is Barbara Bush, then Junior's wife's name is Laura.
Laura. I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to commit to it. So look, man, that's kind of cool right there, though. That's really cool. That's something that I mean, that's something that's really cool that you've done, man. Look, we're getting ready to start wrapping this thing down. We're already at an hour, but before we really close this thing out, I want you to talk to me about what's the immediate goals for yourself and the Gentlemen's Club not only in 901, but just in pro wrestling around the Memphis Mid-South area, period. What do y'all want out of this thing? What are y'all trying to do?
We want to elevate the sport of professional wrestling to its once glory. We are tired of it being a laughing stock. It's made a laughing stock because we've got a couple of foolish boys playing with their friends. We want men to compete against us, to make us prove ourselves that we are the best. We know we are the best already, but we want better competition. That is the goal of the Gentlemen's Club. Now, as for myself, I want to continue to being the most dominant force in all of professional wrestling. This coming weekend in Tupelo, Mississippi, I will be competing alone without Roscoe. I do not know my opponents. I don't care.
That's VIP, right?
Yes.
VIP wrestling. Yeah, they always have a huge show every year. Actually, this show was supposed to happen, a couple of months ago, but the weather kind of postponed everything, man. Yeah.
It was the night that Tupelo, Mississippi had all the tornadoes come through, and it was at the Tupelo Con, which I've worked there as an artist, as a vendor, selling artwork, and then packing up my table and going and competing as a wrestler later that night in the same building. That show got closed down, so it was postponed, the wrestling event anyway, until Saturday night.
Yeah, Jimmy Blaylock always has a huge show once a year there. Always draws big crowds, man. Big crowds. That's a big show to work around our area. That's an important show around our area. So look, before we get out of here, I want to ask you, man, do you love art or do you love wrestling more?
Why would I have to pick one or the other?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've got one that you really. I feel like you really love art more than you probably love wrestling.
Let me explain. In wrestling, it brings out a side of you that you can completely obliterate everything in front of you. That is the destructive side of man. On the other side of man is the creative side. I might be right-handed, but that does not mean I hate my left hand. So that's what it is. It's art and it's wrestling, wrestling and art, or vice versa.
So let me ask you this. When you're at some of these wrestling events and you got your merch out, do you ever come with a pad and your art gear and draw people pictures right there on the spot? I think you can make a lot of money doing that.
Well, that means I would have to interact with them at a wrestling event, and that's not good for me, because I'm already upset that I have to be in the locker room with a bunch of boys. And I just don't want to muddy something that is supposed to be enjoyable for me. If I just sit, wait patiently for my match to begin, I know I will get in the ring and I get to kick someone's butt, slap someone around, punch them in the face, choke them a little bit. The referee tells me that's not legal. I don't understand the rules all the time. I think that's bogus. But if I just wait, I can do that, and I get enjoyment from that. If I bring out my art pad and start drawing, and that means I'm having to endure looking at people's faces and hearing them talk, and I don't get enjoyment from the drawing. And then I bring myself down in a state that I don't want to be in, and then I get in the ring, and I'm kind of depressed. So I keep myself psyched up for wrestling. There's wrestling and there's art. You don't muddy the two.
So let me ask you this. It's the final question. We know you hate everything. You hate everybody pretty much. You don't hate Roscoe, but you don't really like him either. Is there anything besides art and beating people up in the wrestling ring that really makes Meklakov smile?
I don't like cooking. I don't like cooking. There's nothing like it. It's something that brings substance to my family. It is something that brings us together. And I'm actually a really good cook.
So when you say cooking, are you out on the grill, open fire, or are you in the kitchen with the apron on and the little mitts cooking gourmet meals? What's your favorite, man?
Well, I had grilled some steaks earlier today, and I will not lie, I'm not a great grill master. Um, but in the kitchen, when it comes to baking up a meal, a casserole or something of that sort, making pastas, making certain sausages, cabbage. I love cabbage rolls, cabbage soup. Love making it. When fall rolls around, I make chili. Love making chili. Love making beef vegetable soups. All sorts of different soups. Love making those. I dabble in baking a bit, but no, not the grill. I would not call myself a grill master. I do it just because every once in a while a man wants a steak.
I didn't feel like you would even cook your steak. I feel like you like a pit bull. You just eat your meat raw, man.
Oh man, that's where people they always assume that. In all actuality, I prefer my meat burnt.
You're killing me there, man. Ain't nothing I hate worse than an overcooked steak, man. I need some blood in that steak.
Yeah,
I need some red.
I attest it to be you being soft. You know, you don't like your meat tender and everything else. I like my meat to be a challenge. I cooked it dead. And then I chew it and I get my mouth and jaw good workout eating it. You see? You didn't know I was exercising while I'm eating.
There you go. You know, you could chew some bubble gum and kind of do the same thing, Meklakov. You know, get you a stick of juicy fruit, man. That's all it really takes.
Okay, no one in their right mind enjoys juicy fruit, Buster. You know that. No one. It's no one's preference. If you're eating juicy fruit, that's the problem. You know what? If you're eating juicy fruit, I hate you once more.
Man, this has been one hell of a podcast. Meklakov, I have to admit, it's been fun, man. We don't see eye to eye on a whole lot. We do see eye to eye on a few things. And I'll be honest with you, I was hoping we was going to get along and like each other, but I really, really, really do not like you right now. But I can say this, it has been my pleasure having you on this podcast. It has been a blast. And look, man, I got to say it like this. I wish you and Roscoe Monroe all the success in the future with 901, the tag team titles, wherever the gentleman clubs go. I like it, man. I think you guys are good for the wrestling business.
Yes, we are. The challenge is out there. Book it.
Man, I'll tell you this. I'm somewhat of a cook myself. So not only will I kick your ass in the wrestling ring, I can probably kick your ass. I know I can kick your ass on the grill because you already said that, but I think I could get in the kitchen with the little apron and the little mitts and tear your ass up. Look at me. You know I love to eat, Meklakov. My jaws are strong. My jaw's like a Rottweiler.
Oh, I bet. So what you're saying is we can have a fight, then we can have a meal.
Exactly, man.
Why we can't make this happen, okay? It seems like a win-win for both of us here. We can put it to rest who is better, me or Buster, and then whose food tastes better, Norman Meklakov or Buster H.R. Johnson?
Man, you're going to blow your whole image if we do that, because by the time I get through whooping your ass and then I feed you some of the best food you've ever had, you're going to love me. You ain't going to do nothing. We drank a beer or two. I promise you, you're going to love Big Buster after that. I will be your best friend. We might even be stepbrothers after that. We might have to kick Roscoe completely out of the gentleman's club.
You know, after I kick your ass, it's going to be very hard to eat the food that I cook for you once I've knocked your teeth down your throat.
Meklakov, I think we're going to have to leave it right there, my friend. It has been my pleasure. I want to thank you so much for coming on, giving me and everybody watching, all the fans out there, your time, letting us in on a little bit of who Norman Meklakov really is, and I appreciate it so much. and you have a great night, my friend.
You have an unpleasant night. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and you only, Buster.
All right, man. Hey, right there, we nixing you. You're gone, Meklakov. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you seen it right there. Norman Meklakov, the Soviet Saint. Him and Roscoe Monroe, the current 901 Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Gentleman Club. If you get a chance to go see these guys anywhere, go check them out. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Meklakov might be an asshole, but he's one hell of an athlete, and can't nobody deny that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look, I want to appreciate and thank everybody who tuned in, interacted with us, commented. I'll be back this Wednesday night with UCW, Union City Wrestling's Gunner Lane, the Straight Shooter, 7 p.m. at Always. You don't want to miss that. Before we get out of here, you know I got to plug these podcasts one more time, and then I'm going to let all y'all get out of here.
The MEMPHIS our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call it coming in, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an itch, man, I'm making. I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goals. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You just gotta wanna keep chasing. Put you everything you're facing. Keep up with the pace and adrenaline rush starts racing. Get through all the things you hate in. Don't let the others in charge of your dreams. They just don't know what it takes to be seen. You see the shit take control of your team. And if you're alone, then a one-man army. So you better be starving, and you better be carving. Through the hate, keep marching. And every day keep charging ahead till you get what you want, what you dream. Regret is a thing of the past, and you'll see that you always had it inside. It's the key to make the most of this life. Believe.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you seen it right there. Like I said, got a lot of podcasts coming up. I've got a few more taking us through August. I'm going to get on in the next couple of weeks. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Do not miss it. Gunner Lane, Union City Wrestling. Should be a hell of a show. Until then, y'all take it easy.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I've got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I've got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.